So in similar fashion to last week, the Carolina Panthers lose in a tight one, 16-19 to the New York Football Giants on the road. And in today's video, I will be breaking down what happened in last week's game and what to look forward to against the New Orleans Saints. You're listening to Money in the Bank. So in last week's game, much of the same happened. I actually think I hit this one pretty spot on. The New York Giants, Carolina focused their attack in defensively on stopping the ground game, which they did effectively, and then by traded forced Daniel Jones to have to be the guy to lead this team to victory. He had at least one key drive and several opportunities throughout the course of the game, which he took advantage of, where he was able to nickel and down the defense down the field. And the biggest thing I'm seeing right now for Carolina is that the run defense improved in week 2, but there is no pass rush. And not Derrick Brown, but Brian Burns on the other hand has still yet to master the art of finishing sacks. That is still the biggest part of his game. Like, it's the strength of his game, right? Getting to the quarterback. But it's also the biggest weakness in his game is getting the quarterback on the ground. I mean, you talk about how many missed sacks this guy has, bro. He's like Shaq when it comes down to shooting free throws. If he could get at least half of the sacks that he was in on half of the pressures, bro, this guy would be the greatest defensive end of all time. We're talking about a generational pass rusher at this point. If Brian Burns can nab at least half of the sacks that he's missed throughout the duration of his career at this point. Gotta give credit where credit is due, though. I mean, we're starting out with the defense, so gotta continue to stay on the defensive line. Derrick Brown had a great week. He was disruptive. He showed a lot of the reasons why, at least in that thread that we talked about on the podcast, that he got better he showed that his disruptiveness in the passing game. Because there were several times, screen passes where he's in the backfield, batting down balls, in passing situations where he's in the face of Daniel Jones, flushing him out of the pocket, athletic enough to run with them and keep him from turning upfield. Derrick Brown had a great week in the linebacking core, of course, played well in the ground game. Now, still, we don't have a group that can play a total game, and so a lot of the passes that we've seen were over the middle, where our linebackers would need to be, and we're still not getting home with our pass rush. And so until we have a complete game, until we put it all together, maybe in week 3, right? Week 1, it was the run defense. Week 2, the pass defense was a little leaky, and the pass rush wasn't there. Week 3, maybe it all comes together against an offense that, I won't lie, has looked putrid, has looked bad in the first couple weeks in the New Orleans Saints. But defensively, bro, it's still the same things, man. I'm still saying that that we need to play different guys at the linebacker position, and the guys that we're playing right now will not be conducive to us winning. But all in all, happy that Derrick Brown showed the flashes that he showed. Hopefully he continues to build upon that, and we continuously get closer to our first victory of the season. Now, talking about the Panthers offense, right? The Panthers offense has seemed stagnant for the first 2 weeks. Week 1, we thought, okay, got to get your feet up underneath you. Guys are, Baker Mayfield's playing with guys that he really didn't get a whole lot of reps with during the preseason. And you're thinking that maybe that's what led to the week 1 debacle in that first half. Well, we get to week 2, and it's very much of the same. The play calling seems stagnant. I don't think that what we're doing, the one thing I've said on the podcast, and I'll say here, that is damning to me about what Ben McAdoo is doing with his offense, is that DJ Moore is now struggling. And for the last 3 years, right, there was one guy in the midst of all of the injuries that McCaffrey dealt with, there was one guy offensively that stayed consistent, and that was DJ Moore. And I'm not gonna believe now all of a sudden he all of a sudden doesn't know how to play receiver. I'm going to have to lean towards saying that this current offense coordinator has not done a great job of getting his guys going. And Robbie seems to have a connection with Baker, and Shy as well had a connection with Baker because they played a good bit of preseason snaps together, right? DJ Moore, on the other hand, didn't play any preseason snaps that I can recall, or not any significant time, to say the least. And right now you're seeing that their connection is off. I mean, now they got it going a little bit last week. DJ Moore catches his first touchdown pass, but again, throughout the course of the game, I mean, we had plays that were missed. I mean, and again, I can't. I mean, y'all. I mean, I think people know my connection with Shi Smith, us both being from the same city. But again, he missed some opportunities last week. But again, I mean, plays have to be made. But for the majority, I don't think they're being schemed out well. I don't think there's not a lot of variety to this offense. And I think the one thing that I gave McAdoo credit for, I was giving McAdoo credit for, hoping he would do, was just make his offense more stable. Well, he's made it stable in the sense of that we're going to run the same 3 personnel groupings for the entire game, but nothing much more happens after that. I mean, there's no variety, there's no flair to this thing right here, and not nearly enough that I think we need in order to have a Baker Mayfield-led quarterback team. The play calling's got to get better, bro. Let's be very clear. The play calling has to be better, and if not, then we're not going anywhere, which we kind of already, we feel how we feel about that. But let's keep it moving. So coming into this game, what can the Carolina Panthers do? Offensively, man, I'm not going to lie to you. You better be able to strike a balance, because that New Orleans defense is stout, to say the least. Like, they get after it. They can get to the quarterback. They can play the pass well. This is a group that's got this is a secondary group that's as good, if not better, than your receiving core. You better be able to run the football. Implement Deontay Foreman. I don't understand why he's only touched the ball twice. He touched the ball twice last week, I believe. I think one time in the game prior to that. Utilize him. Use that ground game. Your run block. You actually were able to get things going. You were actually able to get things going on the ground. Utilize what you do well. Your offensive line is a better run blocking group than a pass blocking group. Allow those guys to get moving. Allow your running backs to get going, and spread the wealth. That was the purpose of coming into the season. I thought that was the entire purpose of bringing the guys in that we brought, was to spread the wealth. Utilize that. Become a ground and pound team. I remember when Joe Brady was the OC, all Matt Rule talked about was wanting to run the ball 40 times a game. Now, all of a sudden, he's got Ben McAdoo, and that's going out the window. There needs to be a level of consistency as far as what we want our offensive identity to be. That's the biggest key to all of this. So until we figure that out, we're not going anywhere. I have no faith in this team until they figure out what the hell do we want to do. Who do you want to be? Figure that out, please. For our sake, I feel like as a fan base, you need to figure that out. But defensively, right now it's kind of unclear whether we're going to be facing Jameis Winston or Andy Dalton, and there is a difference between the two. I would be more afraid of facing Andy Dalton because I don't believe Andy Dalton's going to turn the ball over nearly as much. Now, he's a big-time playmaker, no, but he's a smart enough quarterback to keep the ball out of harm's way and feed his weapons. He has guys like Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, Jarvis Landry, so they're good enough at receiver to win their matchup against us, because I think they have the better group in comparison to our defensive back group. Now, can we get home? Can we apply pressure? That's going to be a big thing this week, right? That's going to be a big thing this week. They're going to utilize their weapons, and I can imagine with Alvin Kamara in the backfield and Andy Dalton your quarterback, you're going to try to strike a balance. Your goal is going to be to try to strike a balance with Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram and try to run the ball down our throat again. Again, trying to test out to see if they can do the same thing that the Browns did, because everybody's MO offensively is going to be to see, are they really that good? Did they really improve in their run defense? And if so, we gotta test it out, because if we can strike a balance early with the ground game, we can control this game for 4 quarters. But I had to get this one done quickly, y'all. Be sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on the Instagram page at P1N_network and Panthers Nation. It's your boy Shanti Stewart. This has been Money in the Bank, and I'm out.